everyone, I hope you're having a nice day today, and if today isn't your day, I hope that brighter days come your way soon. Today's video I wanted to share with you some of the ME symptoms that you might not have heard of. ME is also known as chronic fatigue syndrome. Quite often, having ME myself, people just associate having ME as just feeling tired, and feeling tired doesn't even cover it. So you may have noticed that I've got some new glasses, and that goes on to the first symptom that I want to talk about, and that's hypersensitivity. So people with ME can be hypersensitive to different senses. For me, I'm very sensitive to light, which is why I wear tinted glasses. I don't have the blind open very much during the day. One of the things that we worked on when I was in hospital was getting used to having the blinds open. When I first got into hospital, I couldn't have the blinds open at all. And now what I do is I slowly open the blinds a little bit more during the day, just so that I'm getting some daylight. Then I'm also very sensitive to noise, so like last night when my dad and stepmom had some friends over, I had my noise cancelling earplugs in just to give me some quiet. On my bad days, I can be sensitive to touch, so things like blankets and duvets I can't have on me because it just feels like a crushing weight, because that pressure is very painful. Smell, I can also sometimes be sensitive to, especially if I've got a migraine. And again, migraines are something that people with ME may experience. Then the next symptom that I wanted to talk about is post-exertion neuro-immune exhaustion. Now this is very similar to post-exertion malaise. So post-exertion is post-activity, and for people with ME that could be a simple activity such as, I don't know, for me having a bath, and that really pushes me to my limits. I'm very limited in what I can do. So what's an exertion for somebody without ME is exertion for somebody with ME. So post-exertion malaise is where after exerting yourself you will have a flare-up of symptoms. For some people like myself with ME, I experience my ME more as a neuro-immune condition. So as well as it affecting me neurologically, it also affects my immune system. So with post-exertion neuro-immune exhaustion, after exerting myself, I will have a flare-up of symptoms, as well as having a flare-up of my immune system, which if you've seen my video, which I'll link up here, where I filmed myself when I wasn't feeling very well, that is a classic example of when my immune system flares up. So you get the post-exertion, post-activity, neuro-immune like I've explained, and then exhaustion, which is the exhaustion that you feel after exerting yourself. Now this isn't just typical exhaustion. The best way that I've heard exhaustion experienced by people with ME came from my friend Becca, who also has severe ME like myself, and she said that the exhaustion is a bit like having a really bad case of the flu on top of having a massive hangover and not having slept for a week, which is why ME is a lot more than just feeling tired. Then the next symptom which kind of follows on is malaise. So malaise means a general feeling of unwell, and people with ME feel this flu-like malaise pretty much all the time. So all the time you just feel generally unwell, but without a reason for the malaise and generally not feeling very well. So you'll experience flu-like symptoms, just feeling groggy and brain fogged and different things like that. And then as well, the next symptom is cognitive dysfunction. So this includes things like difficulty thinking, concentrating, planning thoughts, anything that requires cognitive function is difficult for people with ME. And you have a reduced attention span, and then brain fog is just really hard to describe. I heard brain fog being explained by a YouTuber with ME, and she said it's a bit like your brain is going in slow motion, and she explained it as somebody is in front of you and they've got a ball and they're throwing the ball to you, but you don't realise that the ball's hit you until it actually does. Like with the malaise, the brain fog is generally there all the time, but it fluctuates. Sometimes your brain fog is pretty mild and you can get on with your day, other times you're just so foggy that you just can't function. Then another symptom of ME is orthostatic intolerance. So orthostatic refers to being upright, whether that's sitting up or standing up, and intolerance is obviously not being able to tolerate that. So depending on your level of ME, especially when you've got severe or very severe ME, you can struggle with orthostatic intolerance. And again, this is something that I worked on when I was in hospital, where I slowly learned to tolerate being sat upright, and I can sit up, depending on if I'm having a good or bad day, I can sit up for a while and do things, and then I have to lay down and recover. And with orthostatic intolerance you get symptoms like dizziness, a fast heart rate which is called tachycardia. It can lead to passing out in some cases. Then another intolerance experienced by people with ME is exercise intolerance, and at the moment NICE guidelines recommend graded exercise therapy, which has proven to not work or help people with ME, and in some cases graded exercise therapy makes people worse. And NHS England are in the process of changing the guidelines for ME. It should have happened recently, but at the moment, unfortunately, they've put a hold on the change of the NICE guidelines, which is really frustrating. And I will try not to turn this into a rant about the paused proposals to the new NICE guideline. But basically, any form of exercise just makes people's ME a lot worse. And even just things like walking to the bathroom is exercise, and that can flare up a person's symptoms, let alone going for a walk in the neighbourhood. Then the next symptom is autonomic problems. So basically you have the autonomic nervous system, which does all the basic functions in the body. Anything that is done automatically by the body. But people with ME experience autonomic problems, so their autonomic nervous system doesn't work, and this means that we struggle with temperature control. So I find it hard to either stay cool or stay warm. So all year round I will have something warm to warm me up, or have my fan to cool me down, and it affects things like my heart rate and dizziness, and that leads on to my orthostatic intolerance problems. So yeah, anything that the body does automatically doesn't quite work as it should. The last symptom, which is a bit of a weird one when you have a condition which involves fatigue, is insomnia and other sleep disturbances. So my understanding of insomnia in people with ME is because your body is so tired that it doesn't have enough energy to sleep, which causes the insomnia. And I've experienced and do experience insomnia and other sleep problems myself, and it's really frustrating because I need plenty of sleep to be able to manage my ME, and if I don't get enough sleep I really struggle. Alongside the insomnia, I also experience quite broken sleep, and I have quite a light sleep, and it's quite unrefreshed sleep. So more often than not I wake up feeling more tired than I went to bed. So I hope you've found this video helpful. If you've got any symptoms of ME that are a little bit unusual, or you want to add in some of your own symptoms of ME that aren't well known, please do drop them in the comments below, or if you just want to say hi, I'd love to hear from you. And if you're subscribed to this channel, thank you so much, especially to everyone who's newly subscribed. If you haven't subscribed yet and want to keep up to date with new videos, click subscribe. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.